Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am Harry Series, and this is my YouTube channel grecochess. And we're continuing the series facing the chess.com bots. Today, we're facing bot number 14, and it's going to be Santiago from Chile, raised, rated 850. We already defeated 3 bots of 250s, 3 of 400, 3 of 60. 550, 3 of 700, and now we are facing the 850 bots. Yesterday we defeated Zara from Malaysia, and today we're playing Santiago from Chile. And the rules are as follows. With every bot, I play twice. Once I have the white pieces first and then the black. If I win, I continue. If it's a draw, I play the same game again, meaning the same opponent, same colors, until there is a decisive result. But if I lose, it's the end of the series. Let's see how far I can go. And we're starting with Santiago that is telling us, go easy on me. I'm just learning. Well, if you're learning and your rating is 850, you're doing quite well, I would say. But I'm not going to be easy on you. I'm not going to make any mistakes on purpose. If I make mistakes, it's because they were real mistakes. Let me start with the white pieces. With the e-pawn as usual. My opponent will play symmetrical with the e-pawn. Now my knight goes to f3. You're not supposed what you do. So you're not sure what you're supposed to do here. Well, the move you played is one of the best. The knight goes to c6, and I'm going to push my pawn to d4. Take it back, and now there are two ways to do. Either go with the Scotch opening, meaning I take the pawn on d4, or I do something tricky. I go with the gambit, and let's try the gambit. Bishop goes to c4. If you've seen, for example, the Chess Vibes, one of the channels that I referred to in the past when I had played their founder, or many other ones, they will tell you that the Scotch Gambit is very tricky for an opponent that's not very well prepared. Let's see what's going to happen. You put your bishop on c5. It's an okay move, not the best. The best move, by the way, is put your knight at f6 and attack the pawn. And if I attack your knight, then you push your pawn to d5 and attack my bishop. But since that's what you did, I'll play accordingly. Now I'm going to take your pawn at f7, forking your queen and your rook. You take it back. Now I'm going to check with my bishop. My queen goes to h5, so I'm going to take your piece back. Yes, I'm going to take your bishop at c5, and until now you've played very, very well. Oh, your queen at h4. No, don't take your queen too early. Not a good idea. But how will I reply? You don't have anything to support your queen. If I put my bishop on g5, I attack your queen. But what will I do after that? You threaten my pawn on e4, and that's why I'm going to check you with your queen, so I also defend the pawn. If you take the pawn, it's quite dangerous for me. What I'm not going to do is I'm not going to push my pawn to g3 to attack your queen, because then you go to e4, check, and you win my rook. Queen to d5, check. Yes, you go here. What will happen if I put my bishop on g5, attack your queen, and your queen has only 2 squares to go, h5 and g4, but if it goes anywhere there, you have doing quite well. You don't have a dark colored bishop, so you don't have to worry about this helping your queen and taking the h2. So I'm going to castle now. Your rook. Not a bad idea. Your rook is going to help your queen. So I definitely cannot move my rook from f1. But what can I do? I'm going to continue developing. Knight goes to d2, hoping to go to f3. You push your pawn, what will happen if I take it? I protect the pawn on e4 with this pawn on d3. Your bishop goes to d4. Unfortunately, it's going to be lost. Check with my queen, and also with a check, not just get lost. Your rook is here. Is on f6, it's pinned. Let's see what can we do. Let me put my bishop on b2 in two moves. First move is I push the pawn to b3. We have to be more careful next time. Yes, now I'm going to win at least an exchange. If my queen takes your rook, I'm ahead in exchange. And I'm already ahead a piece, so overall I'll be ahead a rook, assuming counted correctly, because I need to admit that last time there were cases when I wouldn't count correctly the material, although it didn't change the result. Yes, and also when you exchange material, especially when you're going to increase your difference even more. That's what's going to happen now. Queen takes rook, queen takes queen, bishop takes rook, king takes bishop, and my rook ahead. I heard it is easier to defend if your opponent doesn't have a queen. Well, if you have the queen and your opponent does not, yes. If none of you has a queen, count the remaining material. I don't think you're doing that well now. And let's attack the pawn on c7. You defended it while weakening the pawn on d6, so I'm going to attack now. Yes, I got it. Nice. And I attack your bishop. Since I'm ahead in material, let me take your bishop. And I have two rooks, you have one rook, plus I have two extra pawns. Not a bad deal. What I want to do now is constrain you. And you a little bit. Your king is at 6, 7, and 8 ranks. The last 3 ranks is constrained. And assuming you don't blunder, I should be able to win. Let's say now, h6. Okay, let me attack your pawn on b7. You defended it. To be careful because my rook has absolutely nowhere to go. The problem is that unfortunately my rook, if you can see it, my rook could easily be lost. I shouldn't have put it there. Let me check now here. My pawn. Good, at least you didn't put your king on d5, then my rook could easily be lost. I mean my rook on b4. I'm going now to sacrifice the pawn to give my rook some breathing space. Good, you didn't take the pawn, neither did you go to c5. Going to continue attacking your king, and finally my rook on b4 is safe. That is why one needs to be careful. Sometimes your piece is not attacked, but it has nowhere to go if you don't put the correct square. Like when I attack your pawn on b7. And then if it's attacked in the future, it is lost. Fortunately, I avoided that fate. But of course, when we continue with further boards, these kind of mistakes will not be forgiven. If anything now, of course, with an extra rook and 2 pawns, even if I lost the rook, I would still have the better chances, but I would give my opponent unnecessary chances. Now, if my opponent is near promotion, goes to e7. Of course, I can promote and take the rook, but I'm going to do something even better, I hope. With the 2 pawns I have, connected pass pawns. I'm promoting, and if you take my queen, I take your rook, and I have another queen. Let's take your rook now. Now I'm going to have another queen. I'm going to take your pawn at b5, and we're near the end. Check from my rook on e7. and then check from b7, and the game is over. Good game. I guess you taught me a lesson today. Yes, Santiago. I hope so. And also you taught me a lesson. When I place my rook on b5 to attack your pawn on b7, you play the best move. You move your pawn from b7 to b5, and then my rook had nowhere to go. It was not attacked, but it had nowhere to go. So if in one of the next moves you had attacked with your pawns, either the a or the c pawn, my rook, I would have lost the rook. I also learned a mistake by myself. Now it's time to change the colors. You have white, I have black. Here is Santiago, whom we're going to face now. Let Santiago have the white colors. Go easy on me, I'm just learning. I'm not going to go easy on you, but if I make any mistakes, you should better take advantage of them and not miss them like the previous chance with my rook. Yes, you play okay. You like your position? Well, yes, nothing special. And this is a Spanish opening, the Rui Lopez it's called. So in caution and letting my opponents make mistakes, just shoot me fine. Yes, let's see who will make the mistakes this time. Not supposed, not sure what you're supposed to do there. I'll continue. Pinning your knight. I'll change your bishop with my knight. I'm going to castle soon. Ah, thanks for the queen. So this time, I'll just keep defending. Yes, better defend as much as you can without the queen. It's not so easy to defend. I'm going to castle here. You have to be more careful next time. That's what you said last time. How can we continue playing without losing it? Okay, let me put my knight on g4, and if it's attacked, at least I weaken the position in front of your king. Yes? Goes back here. I don't want your bishop to end up in g5, so let's push my pawn. Exactly sure what you're supposed to do here. I put my knight on h5, not to keep it there, but to push it. No, I'm not going to let you take my bishop. In fact, I'm so much ahead in material, I can afford to. Not a good idea. I'll tell you why. Yes, you move your rook because you could easily have taken my pawn with a check and bishop supports knight. Not a good idea on my side, but I got lucky. With the beginner boards, you can easily get lucky. So let me take your knight while I can. Take another pawn. Take another pawn as many as we can. Take your bishop. Take the pawn and threaten the rook. If only my bishop could go to f2, I would have a fork. But if I do it, the king is going to take my bishop. So open the line for the rook to join the attack. What do I want to do? Let's attack the rook. Not so much for the sake of attack, but to open the line for the queen to enter. Sorry, didn't allow you. Didn't let your queen enter. What should I do now? How can the queen enter the game? Let my queen go to f6. What if my queen checks you? Then the rook has to go to h4. The rook has to go to h3. Then I check with my bishop. King goes to g2 if you don't want to lose your rook. Queen goes to f4. And I think I'm okay. You have your rook, of course, facing my king, but nothing to support it. So be more careful. maybe check from f4. I think it's better than just bishop from g3. Oh, take the knight. We are near the mate, but not there yet. If only I could check with my queen from e4. For now, let's bring the other rook in the game. From a8 goes to e8. Let me take this pawn here. Let's pin your rook so I cannot take my bishop. Take the rook. And where can we go now? Go to g5 and threaten with mate at h5. Postpone it by one move with your check. And now I'm not even going to take your rook. I'm going to go to h4. No, it's not to checkmate. I'm going to go to... No, it's better if I take it because then your king can escape since your rook is covering my rook. Yes, let's take it now. And I think now it's checkmate. Good game. I guess you taught me a lesson today. I hope I taught you two lessons, once with white and once with black. And this concludes a game against Santiago, board number 14, and let's see where we're now. We have defeated the following bots. And the list becomes longer and longer. Martin from Bulgaria, Wayne from Singapore, Fabian from Gibraltar, Juan from Venezuela, Philip from Poland, Eleni from Greece, Noel from Finland, Oliver from Ireland, Milika from Serbia, Aaron from Iceland, John Jay from Liberia, Mina from Iran, Zara from Malaysia, and Santiago from Chile. Who is next? It's Karim from Egypt. We're going to play again next video. Salam alaikum. Maybe we can learn a few things together. Thanks, Karim. Salam alaikum to you as well. This is the greeting in your country. And we'll continue with the next video playing against Karim that also has a rating of 850. And this is going to be the last of the beginner bots. And after that, before the intermediate bots, we're going to have a surprise. One of our subscribers, we're going to mention more details later, wants me to present one of their games. That's going to happen after we conclude win or lose with Karim. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching. Thanks for the subscribers. We have every day more and more viewers, more and more subscribers. Thanks to the ones that have left some encouraging and positive comments. And of course, to the ones of you that have hit the like button. This concludes our video for now. We defeated Santiago from Chile, and we'll continue later on with our next video with Karim from Egypt. Thanks, everybody. I am Harela Saniziris, and this is the Greco Chess YouTube channel. Goodbye.